Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today. As usual, man, you guys know the deal on this channel, man. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, I want to talk about the 2018 Cavaliers, guys. And some comments I heard from Ty Lue in that interview that he had, what was that, last week or so, on the Shannon Sharp, the Club Shay Shay. They had that one-on-one, and Ty Lue said a lot of things, and we talked and covered some of the things that he mentioned, right? So I did not see the entire thing. I didn't, whatever you guys sent me is usually what I see, right? People sent me clips of this, of certain parts of that conversation. I did not see the entire thing from the beginning to the end. So I just saw another clip today on social media, and Ty Lue's talking about how the 2018 Cavaliers roster wasn't a good fit. And he's talking about, more specifically, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Derrick Rose. If you guys don't remember, they all played together on the 2018 Cavs, not the entire season, not into the playoffs, but they were all on the same roster, guys, at the beginning of that season, guys. That's right, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Derrick Rose on the 2018 Cavs. And Ty Lue is talking about how that was not a good fit on the Cavaliers, or a good fit for the Cavaliers, which is why they moved on and traded Derrick Rose. And they traded Dwayne Wade back. Where'd he go to this? Back to the Miami Heat or something like that. Whatever it was. So I want to talk about that in this video, man, because this is what we're always hearing from people around LeBron James teams. Oh, it wasn't a good fit, right? It wasn't LeBron James' fault that it didn't work out. And this is basically what Ty Lue was doing, giving excuses as to why it didn't work out, when we all know why it didn't work out. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states has been supporting my channel. Once again, you guys know I am truly, truly humble, which is why I thank you guys in every single video, man. Much respect to everybody out there. Thank you to everybody in the membership, man. And you guys know what to do, man. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, I wanted to cover some of these comments from Ty Lue in that same interview with him and Shannon Sharp. Now, like I said in the intro, I want to cover the comments that he made in relation to LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Derrick Rose playing together on the 2018 Cavaliers at the beginning of the season, and why they ended up not, making it the full season, and why they had to move on and make changes. And Ty Lue is saying that it wasn't a good fit. Right now, we've heard this before. LeBron James teams, this is not a good fit. I mean, hell, we even just heard LeBron James make excuses for the 2011 Miami Heat, talking about, oh, we had to get a bunch of league minimum guys, or whatever the hell he was trying to excuse. Like, oh, yeah, we had our big three, but that means that we had to have a minimum guys around. And he was making all these excuses and just saying weird stuff, man. Like, give me a damn break, man. The complimentary players, the role guys that they had around that core three in Miami, those guys are excellent, man. Are you kidding me? LeBron James, I'm telling you, it's never good enough. It's never enough. I told you, it's like the title of that James Bond movie. The world is not enough. This is LeBron James. It's never enough. It don't matter who he has on that team. It's never going to be enough. It wasn't a good fit, Ty Lue is now saying, for Dwayne Wade, Derrick Rose, and LeBron James on the 2018 Cavaliers. Now, I don't think a lot of people realized that they played together on the Cavaliers. I'm telling you, I don't think people realize that. They just don't realize that those guys played together. Once again, it's more of the same for LeBron James in his career. I mean, LeBron James played with the who's who of the NBA, guys. I mean, all kinds of players at different points in times of their careers. I'm not saying all these guys were at the peaks of their primes and none of this stuff, but LeBron James has had a lot of help. Not just the star guys, but also the complimentary guys that have been around this man. Guys like Larry Hughes, right? The Carlos Boozers, the Antoine Jamesons, right? The J.R. Smiths, the Iman Shumperts, right? All these guys, Richard Jefferson and Shane Battier and Ray Allen and, Mike Miller and Birdman Anderson and Udonis Haslem. I mean, just all these different players that have come through at some point in time on LeBron James rosters. A bunch of different guys, Shaquille O'Neal, Ben Wallace. Do you remember some of these names? You probably don't. But they played with LeBron James at some point in time throughout their careers. We know all the main guys, but it's the other guys that will shock you. So I'm listening to Ty Lue's comments about the 2018 Cavaliers, right? And a lot of times they love to pump up 2018 LeBron James as the greatest version of LeBron James. It's really weird to me that LeBron James fans celebrate LeBron James in 2018 as the best version of himself when he got swept in the NBA Finals. That's the best version of LeBron James. Didn't make an all-defensive team. That's the best version of LeBron James. A guy who did not play any defense. Remember, he stopped playing defense when he left Miami. Stopped playing defense altogether. Wasn't consistent. Lollygagging, picking and choosing his spots on defense. He started that and when he left Miami, guys. So once again, by the time we get to 2018, LeBron James is doing his best non-defense impression. He needs all of his teammates to play defense behind him. He needs those guys to rebound for him. Do all the dirty work, but then when he don't win, they're not good enough because it just didn't work out. Like Ty Lue is saying, it wasn't a good fit. One thing I gotta ask Ty Lue, if that's the case, okay, I get it. Some players don't work together. They don't play well. Their styles don't mesh. We get all this stuff. But remember, guys, the thing about LeBron James that they celebrate is that he could play 1 through 5, right? He could play anybody. He's the greatest all-around player of all time. But more importantly, LeBron James has the highest IQ in NBA's history. So I asked Ty Lue this. If that is true, LeBron James smart as hell, highest IQ in history, or one of the highest IQs in all of NBA's history, then why wasn't it a good fit to bring in Dwayne Wade and Derrick Rose? Like, shouldn't that have been a good fit no matter what? Because LeBron James should have been able to figure this out. He's got the highest IQ in NBA's history. See, guys, you cannot claim that someone has the highest IQ in NBA's history, right? They're the highest IQ ever. Of all the players that play in the NBA, you cannot make a claim like this and then turn around and say, yeah, these guys didn't work out. It just wasn't a good fit. LeBron James should have made it fit. That's how smart he is. He's the smartest player all the time. He should have made that work. That should have definitely worked out. Once again, man, more excuses for LeBron James. It just wasn't a good fit. No, why wasn't a good fit, Ty Lue? You know, we could talk about Dwayne Wade and where he was in his career, right? There's a tail end of Dwayne Wade's career. But why was Dwayne Wade there, Ty Lue? Why was Dwayne Wade on the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2018 at all? Why was he there? The boy, hang out with his boy LeBron James. Dwayne Wade literally left the Miami Heat, left whatever, was he on Chicago and the Miami? I can't remember what he ended up doing, if he came from Chicago or went to Miami and then went. I can't remember how his career ended up at the end there. Remember he went to Chicago for that 1 year. It was really weird, Dwayne Wade, how he ended his career. I don't get it. You're in Miami all those years. Then you leave to go to Chicago, and then you're on the Cleveland Cavaliers for not even a season. He was on the Cleveland Cavaliers for like, what, 40 games or something like that? Before they traded him. I think Derrick Rose only played like 15 games because he got injured. Then they got rid of him. But why was Dwayne Wade even there? He was there, once again, for support for LeBron James. Just the way he was there to support LeBron James in 2011, even though he got no credit for it. This is what Dwayne Wade was doing in Cleveland. A lot of people forget he was on the Cleveland Cavaliers for, like I said, half the season. A lot of people forget Derrick Rose was on the Cleveland Cavaliers at the beginning of that season. But guys, I want you guys to understand and remember, I've told you guys in the past about this. Go look at how many players were on the Cleveland Cavaliers roster from the beginning of the season to the playoffs. Look how many players went through that roster, guys. I think there was 22 names, 22 players. And when they got to the playoffs, they were down to, I believe, 13 players. I want to read off a list of names, guys. And I've touched on this before in other videos. But I want to read off some of the names on the 2018 Cavaliers that everyone says LeBron James was carrying to the playoffs, to the NBA Finals. Oh, that's the greatest version of LeBron James. Remember, Nick Wright says that the 2018 Finals, Game 1, is the greatest performance, guys, in NBA's history. NBA Finals history, LeBron James 51 points when he scored 2 points in overtime on 2 free throws after he gave up in the overtime. His team lost. He's saying that's the greatest performance in an NBA Finals ever. Not Elgin Baylor's 61 points in an NBA Finals. Not Bill Russell playing every single minute of the NBA Finals and while coaching. That's not the greatest performance in the NBA Finals. LeBron James scoring 51 points in a losing effort, even though he choked up in the overtime and scored 2 points. LeBron James, who at the end of the game with his team down by 1 point, LeBron James passes the ball to George Hill. That's the greatest performance of all time. That's the greatest version of LeBron James. That's how weird LeBron James fan base is. Once again, they're celebrating mediocrity from LeBron James, guys. Why? Because he played all 82 games finally in one season? Not impressed at all from LeBron James that year, guys. Now, let's go through the roster here. These are the players that were on the playoff roster, guys. So these are not guys that were on the roster at some point and then they were traded or they were released. All of these guys I'm about to read off on this first list were all on the playoff roster, guys. All right, all played at some point in time in the playoffs. J.R. Smith, we obviously remember J.R. Smith. He was getting yelled at by LeBron James on the court, on the bench. I mean, my goodness, man. LeBron James' worst teammate ever, man. No responsibility, no accountability from LeBron James. He goes to the bench asking Ty Lue if he had any timeouts left. Dude, you're the highest IQ player in the history of the game. You should have known how many timeouts were left. You should have known how many timeouts Golden State Warriors had. You should have known all of this, and you should have had your team on the same page. But you were not prepared because you don't care to be a leader like that. So you have J.R. Smith there. You have Kevin Love on the team still. I know people forget that Kevin Love was on that team. You ever hear LeBron James' team, our fans talk about LeBron James in 2018? Oh, he carried the Cavaliers. You guys realize that Kevin Love was an all-star that season, right? He made the all-star team. Not saying the all-star team is a big deal, but the man was on the all-star team for a reason. He made the all-star team. So you weren't playing with nobody. You weren't playing with bums and scrubs like his fans always try to say. You were out there with a guy who averaged a double-double in the playoffs. A double-double. 17 and 10 in the playoffs. That was Kevin Love. But it's not good enough for LeBron James. He played with nobody. So you had J.R. Smith, Kevin Love. You had Jay Crowder there. Does anybody remember Jay Crowder? Right? One of those 3-and-D guys. Jay Crowder, a solid player. All right? You had Jay Crowder on that team. People forget about that. You had Rodney Hood. Remember Rodney Hood? Another guy that was a quality player. You know, not a perennial all-star or some, Hall of Fame type player. But once again, a guy that LeBron James could have turned into something. He could have helped lead, right? He could have helped develop. He could have made him better, raised his level up. But remember, in 2018, when Isaiah Thomas was on the team, he said that the LeBron James team don't practice. He said, we don't practice. What the hell's going on here? So I asked Ty Lue again. If Isaiah Thomas is saying that you guys don't practice, this is 2018, guys, he's talking about, they didn't practice. I remember him talking about this publicly. Oh, man, they don't practice. What the hell are we doing here? Then how is your team supposed to figure it out? When he says it wasn't a good fit, how is it going to be a good fit? How are you going to find any continuity or cohesion or consistency when you're making all these moves? You have 21 players on your roster, down to 13. A lot of moves right there, a lot of moving parts here. And also on top of that, like my man Isaiah Thomas is saying, you guys are not practicing like that. So how are you supposed to acclimate Derrick Rose and Dwayne Wade and Rodney Hood, right? And, Jay Crowder and these newer players when you're not playing in a system, number one, right? You're playing the LeBron James system, but you guys don't practice like that. Rodney Hood. So then you have Jeff Green on the team. Everybody remembers Uncle Jeff Green, right? You guys remember Jeff Green who won a championship on the 2023 Denver Nuggets. But in 2018, he wasn't good to... Remember, Jeff Green was one of the guys that LeBron James had guarding Kevin Durant in the NBA Finals, guys. I remember in 2017, he had Richard Jefferson guarding Kevin Durant and Jeff Green out there. I think even sometimes he might have had Iman Shumpert or J.R. Smith guarding Kevin Durant. Anything he could do to avoid that stuff. You had Dwayne Wade, like I mentioned, on that team, but we know Dwayne Wade was on the playoff roster, so let's not mention him. Jordan Clarkson. You guys remember Jordan Clarkson? The man was, I think he was a top 10 sixth man of the year that season. Jordan Clarkson. You guys remember Jordan Clarkson now? Right? He's a pretty good player. He's not Jordan Clarkson. He was on that team. Did LeBron James do anything with Jordan Clarkson? Did he make him better? No. Was he able to make it work with a Jordan Clarkson and all these other guys I'm reading off? No. You guys probably forgot Jordan Clarkson playing the damn Cavaliers in 2018, man. You don't remember this stuff? He was on that team, though. I believe he's on the New York Knicks now, Jordan Clarkson, right? He was on the Utah Jazz for a while. He was on the New York Knicks, man. He was a great sixth man in the league. LeBron James couldn't. He wasn't good enough, though, I guess. Tristan Thompson was on that team still, right? The double-double guy for the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron James' boy, right? Then Tristan Thompson said that him and LeBron James be working out, they be doing stuff together, and all of a sudden Tristan Thompson got busted. But remember, Tristan Thompson got paid by the Cleveland Cavaliers on the strength of LeBron James. Right? And on the strength of what he was doing on the court, offensive rebounding the hell out of the basketball. You had Tristan Thompson on the team. Kyle Korver was on that team, right? We mentioned Kyle Korver before. Kyle Korver was on that team. He was on the team in 2017. He was on the 2018 roster also. Right? One of the great spot-up knockdown shooters of that era. Kyle Korver, not a great player, not one of your main guys, but he's a good role player, good complimentary guy to bring off the bench, a guy that can stretch the floor, right? Can knock down the open shot. You had Kyle Korver there, right? LeBron James couldn't make it work with these guys. He had Larry Nance Jr. on that team. Once again, it's not his father, Larry Nance Sr., who was a baller, right? Larry Nance Jr. can't shine his father's shoes, but Larry Nance Jr. was a solid player, a very good rebounder for the amount of minutes that he played. He was a high flyer. He was good around the rim. Larry Nance, once again, another quality player, a good role player. So all these guys I mentioned, these are quality players, man. These are not bums and scrubs. And then, like I said, you had Derrick Rose on that team and Dwayne Wade at the beginning of the season. It didn't work out. So once again, why is that? Because LeBron James. It never works out because of LeBron James. It never does. It's always an excuse. It's always someone else's fault why it didn't work out. The main common denominator is always LeBron James, though. You know that Channing Frye was on that team? We know Channing Frye is obviously a LeBron apologist, like Richard Jefferson. Kendrick Perkins was on that team, guys. He didn't play a lick, Kendrick Perkins. Not a lick. Remember, Kendrick Perkins was on the bench in street clothes because he wasn't even on the dress roster for the Cavaliers in 2018, the finals. But remember, he was on that team. And remember, he was going back and forth with Steph Curry in the NBA finals while he was in street clothes. Like, dude, you're in civilian clothes and you're talking trash to Steph Curry. Dude, get on the court and then run your mouth, man. But once again, Kendrick Perkins has been a LeBron James apologist and a LeBron James security guard since he was in the NBA, and now he's still doing the same thing on ESPN. Always talking nonsense for LeBron James, selling his integrity for LeBron James, just the way he embarrassed himself for LeBron James in the 2018 finals, out there talking trash to Steph Curry in civilian clothes like a lame. What a clown. I want you guys to understand also, when Ty Lue was talking about it just wasn't a good fit, once again, he's making an excuse as to why they didn't go far or why they didn't win the championship, why Dwayne Wade and Derrick Rose weren't on that team in the playoffs. They got rid of those guys. It's all on LeBron James, and they had a lot of help in those playoffs. Remember, LeBron James carried them, past the first round, into the second round, past the third round, into the NBA Finals. In the first round, they played the Indiana Pacers with Bogdan Bogdanovic and Victor Oladipo. No one's impressed by that. Anyone impressed by that? No one's impressed by that. And once again, they were getting help by the referees. I remember LeBron James blocking Victor Oladipo at the end of that Game 7. That was a goaltend, guys. He goaltended Victor Oladipo in that layup. That was a game ender right there. Goaltended, they counted as a block. And they did not get credit for those points, man. That was the end of the game for the Indiana Pacers, man. So LeBron James got helped out by the referees, right? Who they beat? The Toronto Raptors in the second round? Anybody impressed with Toronto Raptors 2018? Not impressive at all. And then once again, he beat the 2018 Celtics without Kyrie Irving. Remember, Kyrie Irving left in 2017, went to the Celtics, and then jacked it all up in the Celtics. Kyrie was a hot mess in the Celtics and did not play in the playoffs. But more importantly, when LeBron James fans love to talk about LeBron James and how young he was in 07, he was so young, you got to make excuses. It's not his fault, he was young. Well, I can say the same thing about the Oklahoma City Thunder in 2012, and I got damn sure to say the same thing about the Boston Celtics in 2018, when Jason Tatum was like 21 and Jaylen Brown was like 22. I can say to make the same excuses, guys. You say that don't fly? LeBron James fans, once again, you guys sound like a bunch of hypocrites, man. You make one thing for this guy, but not for the other guy, right? Michael Jordan beat the Pistons when they were old in 91, then Dennis Rodman made them a super team in 96. Doesn't add up, guys. Makes no sense at all. So I don't want to hear no excuses. That's who LeBron James beat. Some young kids. That's who he beat. Once again, Kyrie wasn't there. You didn't beat nobody. And also, the Cavaliers, you guys understand, in the playoffs, the Cavaliers were a plus 321, guys. Oh, excuse me, not in the playoffs. They were in the regular season. They were a plus 321. All right? So they got a lot of help during the regular season, like they always do. In the playoffs, they were still the same thing. They were plus something in the playoffs. I can't remember what they were in the playoffs, but they were plus something in the playoffs as far as free throw differential, as always. So these are the things that are helping someone like LeBron James win these games against some of these teams when people are like, he's carrying them. No, LeBron James is getting carried by the referees and the NBA into these scenarios. And you're not beating anybody worth a damn. And you're actually playing with a solid roster, but your teammates never want to give them credit. And Ty Lue's talking about LeBron, Wade, and Rose didn't work out because of the fit. It just wasn't a good fit. No, it's mostly on LeBron James, man, and everything I talked about in this video. They don't practice, like Isaiah Thomas said. There's no continuity and consistency when you're always trading guys and releasing guys and signing guys. How are you supposed to be consistent? You're not going to be consistent. And LeBron James forces his teammates to fit around him. He won't sacrifice for anyone. The common denominator is always LeBron James in these scenarios. Every year, he needs more help. Every year, he needs more help. He needs more help. He needs more help. What's the common denominator here, guys? Remember, LeBron James is the GM. Oh, he's the GM. But then they complain about the roster. LeBron James makes everyone around him better, but then he doesn't have enough help. It can't be both. It can't be both. You guys know these are the facts, man. LeBron James, 2018 Cavaliers, like I said, go to the roster, guys. It was a who's who of players. I mean, think about the names I mentioned. Jordan Clarkson, Isaiah Thomas, Dwayne Wade, Derrick Rose, Rodney Hood, Jeff Green. I mean, my goodness, man. I think Jose Calderon was on that team. Kevin Love, like I said, who was an all-star, a double-double. He didn't know about that team. What? Is it J.R. Smith was still there? It's supposed to be his boy, right? Jay Crowder. I mean, my goodness, guys. You guys know these are the facts, man. LeBron James doing less with more. Another example of what I've been telling you guys. Ty Lue, all you do, man, is sound ridiculous trying to make an excuse here for why it didn't work. And he was like trying to blame himself. Oh, if we would have had more time on the roster, why did you have more time on the roster? LeBron James never gives you a roster and keeps that roster for consecutive seasons. Always need something else. I mean, they win a championship in 2020, and then they get rid of all these guys. Because LeBron James always looking for the grass is greener. Always looking for the next best thing. It's never enough for LeBron James, like I said in the beginning. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.